guys, it's Amber. So today I'm going to be doing another Rosacea Diaries. It's been a while since I've done an update. My skin has been through a lot. I'm going to show you how it looks, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I got to this state of getting my skin better and also what I'm doing now to maintain it. And now that my skin's better, I've been able to review a few more products and test them out a little bit more so I can give you guys my thoughts on what I think about them. And it's kind of a whole big long story. Before I want to do that, I just want to do a little bit of a disclaimer. For those of you guys who have followed my journey with my skin, you know what my skin's looked like. For someone who may just be finding this video, they'll be like, your skin doesn't look bad, you don't have that much acne. I realize that, but I have been through a lot with my skin. That being said, I do have people who tend to find these videos kind of randomly, so I want to give a little bit of my history so you're not just like jumping to conclusions on what I think about products or why I'm doing what I'm doing. First of all, I am a licensed hairstylist, but I do zero with skincare. I had very basic training on how to do a facial, but I am in no way certified to be giving skin advice. I am not a dermatologist. I am sharing my opinions on the products on how I work for my skin. I have acne rosacea, which means that not only do I get regular acne, but I also get little bumps that are part of my flare-ups, with the redness going over my nose, my cheeks, sometimes on my chin. And it can be very difficult to deal with. And I try a lot of products because, one, I like to find what works the best for me, and also I like to review products for those of you who are struggling, because not everything is going to work the same for everyone. Because I have an opportunity to try products, I want to let you guys know what worked and what doesn't. Now, just because a product works for me does not mean that it will work for you. And also, if a product doesn't work for me, it doesn't mean that it won't work for you. Also, if I am using a product and it doesn't work for me, it doesn't mean that I hate the company. It doesn't mean that I'm saying it doesn't work, that it's a horrible product. Even if I'm using products that aren't professional, like they aren't meant for licensed estheticians, it doesn't mean that they are bad products. I am just using them as anyone would use them and giving my opinion on how they work for me. Also, I know that it's recommended that when you use a specific product line, that you use all the products in that specific line together. I have mixed and matched several different products and product lines. If you want expert skincare advice, then by all means go to your dermatologist and get some expert skincare advice. If you want to see my thoughts on some products with just me being a person that struggles, then you're welcome to watch. But I am not going to tell you to buy these products. I'm not endorsing these. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. These are just my thoughts. These are things that I use to clear my skin. So I do have a video talking about, does Dermalogica work for acne and rosacea? That video got a lot of views. In that video, I talked about how I just had kind of an average skincare kit they put together and that it didn't really work. I went through it with a skin therapist from Dermalogica. I got their skin regimen that they recommended for me. I used that for the recommended period of time. I used it as directed, and I did not have good results. Now, there are many theories to why that happened, which I'll get to in a second, but I did use it as recommended. I know a lot of people didn't see my follow-up video, which was talking about skin purging, and they felt like I didn't follow what Dermalogica suggested, but I actually did. So if you missed that video on skin purging, I will link my skincare related videos up here or down below so you guys can check those out, so you guys can see the full spectrum of the story. That being said, after I used those, my skin was very horrible. I felt like it was uncontrollable, but there's a lot of things going on. So let's go back a couple years ago and see where I've been, and then I'll kind of explain how things have changed for me, how my hormones have changed. That kind of plays into my skincare. So I started using the Soothe line and the Unblemish line, and I had really good results. This is from Rodan and Fields. The Soothe line helps create a lipid barrier on the skin to help diminish the redness, and the Unblemish line helps control the acne. So I was using that for a while and having good results. At the time I started using that, I found out shortly after that I was pregnant, which means I did have a big hormone change. Hormones can play a big effect on your acne, especially in this area right here. If you have a lot of acne right here, it can be hormonal. And I've heard that people even say, like with your cycle, depending which ovary you're ovulating out of, you may break out on this side or this side, depending on which one you're ovulating from, which I think is like crazy, like kind of really shows how much our hormones can play a part of it. So in previous pregnancies, I had quite bad skin, but during this pregnancy that I just had, my little girl is 10 months old now, I had quite good skin. I was using the Blemish and Soothe, I was getting good results, And then I decided to switch it up and try Paula's Choice as per request of many of my viewers to let you guys know what I thought about it. So I switched to the Redness Relief from Paula's Choice. I used this for a couple months. I had good results. I maintained my fairly clear skin. I mean, I would occasionally get a little bit of breakouts, one here and there. I don't typically break out a lot on my forehead. Most of my breakouts, when it's a rosacea related breakout, is right here. And also I do struggle with the hormonal stuff going on my chin area. So I use this. It does have some BHA exfoliants. Although it's gentle, it does have a little bit of the acne fighting salicylic acid in there, which my skin tends to respond well to and can help kind of combat my acne. So after I used that for a while, I was still enjoying it, and I got reached out to by Dermalogica to try some of their products. So that brings us to that next video. Well, at that point, I had given birth. So there's another big hormone change, and then I started birth control. So another big hormone change. So I had started birth control just about a couple months before I started the Dermalogica. So my body was still adjusting. I still wasn't quite sure where my hormones were playing a part in this, but my skin wasn't horrible when I just used the basic skincare line they gave me, but it just wasn't as great as what I was experiencing with the Paula's Choice. Dermalogica kindly reached out to me. They gave me the regimen I spoke of earlier, and I started implementing that into my regimen, and I used it for the recommended period of time. My skin did not respond well, but my skin is very problematic, and I just felt like not necessarily that Dermalogica was causing me to break out, which I think people were feeling a little defensive, like, hey, Dermalogica is a good product. You're giving this a bad name, and you're putting this video out there saying this doesn't work and that's not fair. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna tell you that something worked for me if it doesn't. All I can tell you is the experience that I have. I can't tell you that millions of other women have used it and been fine, but I also want you to let you know that there's a lot of other things going on with me at the time. So I tried it, and I liked some of the products a lot, but I just felt like in combination, I needed some more salicylic acid to help alleviate some of the acne that I was experiencing. So I decided to go off of it and get my skin to a good place, and then start trying out the products one at a time and try to figure out what, if any of the products were making me break out, or was it just the fact of a lack of salicylic acid in my skincare routine made my skin just be what my skin naturally is, which is acne prone, rosacea, flaring up. Not that these were creating that, but that's just how my skin is. When I don't do anything to my skin, that's what it likes to be. It likes to be horrendously red and flaring up everywhere. So I had a little bit of detective work, and that's why this video has been so long since then, because I didn't feel like I could just use each product for 2 days and give you guys a good review on if it worked for me or not. So first thing I did is I went back to the Paula's Choice, because that's what I had been using right before. And after a couple weeks, I felt like there was a little improvement, but not a lot. So I backtracked again. I went back to the Soothe and Unblemish line. Now I didn't have all the steps in the Soothe, but I did have the Unblemish. So I was using the Acne Treatment Sulfur Wash. I was using the Dual Intensive Acne Treatment. Also they had a acne toner that I was using. I was using my Soothe lotion, and I would alternate with the Soothe Gentle Cream Wash. Now I was starting to run out of this. So once I ran out of the Smooth, I did go back to this Paula's Choice moisturizer, and even though this was kind of a combination, which I know is not what people recommend, but I'm just telling you what I did and what worked, my skin started to clear up. And you can tell the difference because in some of my videos from 2 months ago, you could still see with my makeup on little acne bits, and that's when I was just using the Paula's Choice. Like, it still was there. But then all of a sudden, my skin started looking so much better. So let me give you guys a close-up of how my skin looks now. So you can see that the redness through here is dramatically reduced. I do have a little bit of pigmentation left over from where it was really broken out, but all along here, my chin is much better. I do have a little red spot there, which isn't really any pimple, it's just kind of some hyperpigmentation. I'm sorry the lighting isn't the best in here. And on my forehead, I don't have anything, and my neck, I do have a little like old spot right there. But overall, because I mean, it was getting so bad that it was starting to come down my neck and really become a problem. And it's to the point now where although my skin isn't perfect and it does have red spots on it and still a little bit of redness through here, it's manageable for my daily life, putting on makeup. I can wear something lighter and I don't feel like my skin's just like horrible, just making me feel horrible and all the things that come with having bad skin, that if you have bad skin, you totally understand. So slowly I started adding in. One of my favorite products from the Dermalogica line was this skin smoothing cream. This stuff smells like fresh flowers. And so this was one of the first products I started using again. And I was just using all the Unblemished stuff, and then I added this in. And my skin still stayed great. This was moisturizing, it felt really good, it felt refreshing on the skin. I liked that it had a thick consistency. I liked that it seemed to seep into the skin, but it also left it feeling moisturized but not greasy. I love that it smells like literally like fresh flowers. Like it smells like I'm in a flower garden. It doesn't feel synthetic or anything. And I really hope this moisturizer would work because I liked it before. I just didn't know if it was working for me. And now I can say that this actually does work and it doesn't make me break out, and it's what I'm using currently, and I am really enjoying this. So I wanted to update you on that. So the next thing I started adding in was some of the Daily Superfolient. This was one of the first products I used back in December that I did like. It's kind of a charcoal based powder that you mix with water that exfoliates your face. Now I have been using this in the shower, and I've actually used it on my face. I've actually used it on my arms, which has kind of helped with some of the KP that I get here, which gets those little red spots, and it actually was much worse. If you guys saw my fitness update in my before and after pictures, in the first one you can see my arms are way more red and they're way more textured than they are in the second picture, and that's from using this and one other product that I'll talk about in a second. So this I have been using and I have had no ill reactions. I love it as exfoliator. Even though it's a Daily Superfolient, I only use it once or twice a week because I have sensitized, sensitive skin. So another product that I added in for when I wasn't having these super breakouts, but I needed a little something, was the Breakout Control. This is one that I have liked all along, so I figured it would still work for me, and I was right. This is made out of silver, which is a natural antibacterial, so I could just place on anything. I need a little bit of extra something, but I didn't really want to dry out my skin. This was great, and for those of you who just need a little something and don't want it to be overly drying, I would highly recommend this, and I think it worked really great because it's more of it's just a less harsh way to deal with minor breakouts versus if you need the heavy duty salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide, depending on what your skin responds to. So I really liked this. The next thing I added in was one of the first things I removed from my routine when I was breaking out, and Dermalogica actually told me to stop using this when I told them I was breaking out a lot, and this is the Ultra Calming Serum Concentrate. But this is one of the things I wanted to use the most because this is the one that's supposed to eliminate the redness, and I can honestly say that I have added this in. I feel like it has helped with the redness and it does not make me break out. So I just use a little tiny bit. I put this on after I wash my face, after I tone my face, I put this on, and then I put my moisturizer over it. And so I really feel like this has kind of helped diminish the redness in my face. Not like a huge, but it definitely has helped kind of calm things down, and it hasn't made me break out, which is awesome. So the next product that I started trying out again was the Ultra Calming Cleanser. And so I had not been using any of the Dermalogica cleansers. I had still been using ones from Rodan and Fields, and I used this and it felt really nice. It felt refreshing. Again, didn't dry out my skin. I didn't break out from it. And so I'm using all these products. I know this is crazy, but like if my face looks like this and this is what I have to do to make my face look like this, like I'm okay with it because I want my face to look good. So I really like the cleanser. So honestly, I'm not sure if it was just the fact that I changed too much that my skin did kind of have a freak out, if it really just had a super crazy long purge. But now that I've gotten it back under control, I feel like I can successfully use these products and I'm not having issues, which I'm so thankful for. I wanted these products to work, so I'm really happy about this. So one product that I haven't started using on my face again yet is the Ultra Calming Mist, but I have been using this on my arms. So when I've used the Daily Superfolient, I've actually just sprayed this on my arms, and I also think that that's helped kind of minimize the redness. And so this is probably going to be the next product that I'm going to add in, kind of see how it works for my skin. And then I'm just going to just see if I can get down a routine that works. I mean, obviously this is a lot of products, but I like to take good care of my skin. You know, using up things I have too. I know it sounds kind of dumb, but like, I feel like I have so many skincare products and they're good that before I start spending more money on skincare, I don't want to be wasteful. And skincare is so personal. I've had a hard time passing it on because there's a few products that I tried to pass on to people and they just really weren't interested because they want something that works for them. And I just felt like if I could make these work and I could get good results and I could use them up, then I would kind of pinpoint which ones were the best things, my favorite things, and then I could repurchase those in any of these lines, you know, finding my favorite products and use those things, but not wasting these, because I just feel like if I can use it and it's good, even if it's a mix of products that isn't recommended, I want to do what's less wasteful. And I know not everyone might agree with that, but I feel like if I can use it up, that's a better choice. So that is my update on this. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this might have cleared up a few things if you guys were wondering what happened with this, what was going on. I will continue on my skincare journey. Hopefully it still keeps going good. If there's any other types of skincare related things you would like me to talk about, just let me know. And as always, have a wonderful day. Bye.